Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Georgia here from Allendale. It is Friday, May 7th, 2010. We had a pretty quiet day today in the grains. Corn actually up a little bit. Same thing in beans, finding a little recovery today as far as beans after that big sell-off we had seen yesterday. And also the wheat market firming up just a touch. A lot of guys looking at weather as the reason on why we were a little higher. We've got some frost concerns, some cold weather moving in Sunday night, Monday morning. That had kept the markets relatively strong throughout the day. But when you look at these outside markets, much continuation here from what we had seen earlier in the week. Stock market's down right now, another 124 points. A lot of concerns now in the stock market. We may end up getting next week some more pressure from a lot of investors taking their money and moving to the sidelines just because they're scared. So a lot of these markets, you're finding scared money being pushed around and continuing to pressure the energies. Crude oil down $1.83 today. Puts that at 75.25. We had a low today on that nearby contract down near 74.50. If we break on down below 74, your next solid support's near $71. So that market has been absolutely devastated in the last 3-4 days. But we may end up finding some support in here. But if we come in on Monday, we see that stock market down again, you're probably going to find a lot of these markets under pressure as well. The dollar pulling back a little bit today. I was quite surprised by that. We were down about 40 points. The yen down over 300 points. We had a huge day yesterday in the yen, pulling that dollar up with it. Today, finding a little bit of a pullback, maybe even some profit taking, who knows. But that yen down 300 points, which in turn had kind of surprised me with the euro working about 140 points higher. So that euro finding support with all this talk of Greece, all their economic concerns that they have, and still working a little bit better today to finish out the week. Still a pathetic week there for the markets, for that euro, which in turn had kept the dollar relatively strong. And as I mentioned, that stock market being down, it sits just below that 10,400 area. Yesterday's collapse certainly had a lot of concerns out there. A lot of people thinking about that market saying, well, what do I do? And I think watching these outside markets at this point, take a look at crude, watch the energies. If we can maybe find a rally there, you find investors build a little bit of confidence. I think you're going to find that confidence kind of move right into that stock market as well. Maybe find a little recovery after the dip that we have seen over the last few days. Livestock relatively quiet today. The fats right about unchanged. Feeders were down about 65 cents in the August. That had broke. We found a significant pullback here in the last couple days in the feeders, which a lot of guys have been saying if this feeder market can break, that may end up supporting corn. A lot of money that had been bullish in the cattle. If we see that fund money come out of cattle, a lot of guys thinking we may end up seeing that go into the grains. So we'll see if that is the case today. You had feeders down, you had fat cattle about unchanged, and you did have the grains higher. So that may have worked here today. Hogs recovered a little bit after finding a significant pullback this week. You had hogs up about $1.40, finished just above that 20-day moving average. So actually, it was a pretty decent close for the week. We'll see if that can hold. You've got concerns here that this cash market may end up pulling back a little bit, which could pull futures back here next week as well. But we'll see how that plays out as we move forth in the next week. Now, if you have any questions, give us a call. Feel free at any time. Call us at 800-262-7538. A lot of this information that I've just explained to you guys, you can find it right on our website. Look at our research product. Our research team does a fantastic job. If you have questions on how to receive that, give us a call. Once again, that number, 800-262-7538. And the web address is allendale-inc.com. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.